Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. Today we're going to do some brush hogging, and today's going to be a pretty good test for our Coyote CK3510 here behind me. Normally I have brush hogged the field 2 or 3 times by now, the middle of June, because I like to keep the place looking nice and not let it look overgrown. But with the price of fuel, this is going to be the first time we've mowed it, which is a lot longer than I usually let it go. The grass is tall, it's thick. It's going to be a good test for this tractor. Anyway, before we get started brush hogging, we've got to do a couple of maintenance items on the machine, get the brush hog all greased up and ready to go. And I've got another thing I want to show you that we've made for brush hogging this field out here in the hot June sunshine. So the first thing I like to do when I'm getting ready to brush hog is take the loader off. It's just a whole lot of less weight on the front end that's bouncing around because our field is extremely bumpy. And the one thing you want to do if you're going to take your loader off to brush hog is take it off on flat level ground. Ask me how I know. When you go to take it off on uneven ground, you can get it off, but getting it back on is a real bear. So I always pull it into the garage here, nice level concrete, take the loader off here. It is in the way, but usually as soon as I'm done brush hogging, I'm always using the loader, so I go and put it right back on as soon as I'm done brush hogging. Taking off your loader is way easier than it is to put it back on, because when you're taking it off, your pinholes are already lined up. You've just got to pull the pin out. When you go to put it back together, you've got to line up that pinhole just perfect. And I find oftentimes I'm sitting here playing with that loader for 5 or 10 minutes trying to get it just right so that pin will go back through. But nonetheless, we got the loader off. Let's go ahead and maintenance up the brush hog here. We've got to grease the PTO shaft and the wheel on the back. One last thing, we can't forget our shade. It's hot out. I'll give you one guess as to who made this for me. That's right, neighbor Doug. He fabbed this up so that it's easy to put on and take off. And it just slides right on, as long as I don't lose it in the wind here. There, just like that, we've got shade now. That's a good workaround if you can't afford a cab tractor. So yeah, just your typical sunshade patio umbrella. We drilled a hole in the, Doug drilled a hole in the bottom, and it lined up with this tab that was already sticking up, just like this one on this side. Put a little pin through there, and then he welded together this little mounting bracket, bolted it on with some U-bolts so it stays there all the time. And then when we go to put the umbrella on, all we have to do is put this little rubber spacer there to keep it from scratching the neck of the umbrella, and a quick little rubber bungee cord, and it's on there. It takes less than 60 seconds to put this on and off. right, guys, so we got this whole front section here mowed, and I even worked my way over that way a little bit over there in front of the pond dam. And I gotta say, I'm really surprised. I don't remember this tractor being that fuel efficient before. I always thought I burnt more fuel when I brush hogged, but in that whole section mowing all of this, I only burnt a quarter tank of diesel, and I think the fuel tank on here is 9 gallons. So less than 3 gallons of fuel at today's fuel prices of $5 or $6, you know, somewhere between $15 and $18 to get this all mowed. I don't know, it doesn't seem like that bad. Maybe I will go back to brush hogging it more frequently and keeping this knocked down to keep the place looking nice. The other reason I like brush hogging it more frequently is it does help with rodents. It keeps all the mice and stuff and the snakes away from the pond, the house. You know, you guys have seen how we like using the pond for swimming, and the last thing we want is a whole bunch of snakes in the pond. And obviously we don't want mice and rats and stuff up at the house. So keeping the field knocked down really helps control that population. Or not necessarily control it, but it just keeps it away from here. I mean, they can go down in that little swampy area down there in amongst all those trees out in the woods. I don't care where they go. I just don't want them in and around the house. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this sunshade that Doug made for us behind here for the tractor. That was absolutely awesome today. I mean, it wasn't too terribly hot. It was about 80 degrees, real low humidity, and there was actually a nice breeze rolling through. So it was very comfortable to be on an open station cab today. But one thing I hate doing is lathering up in sunscreen to come out and brush hog, because then all the pollen and all the bugs and everything stick to you while you're brush hogging. So not having to put sunscreen on and just keeping out of the sun was really nice for brush hogging today. So if you've got an open station tractor and you've been thinking about upgrading to a cab tractor, this might be an option for you, save you a bunch of money. A lot of people say they like cab tractors for the winter time. Personally, the only reason I would upgrade to a cab tractor is for this right here, for brush hogging. I hate lathering up in sunscreen. I hate all the bugs that get all over you while you're mowing, and probably one of my biggest fears is running over a yellow jacket's nest while on the brush hog. Thankfully, that hasn't happened yet, and hopefully maybe we'll upgrade to a cab tractor before that does happen. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this one, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.